Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we'll be doing the camera review of the Redmi Note 11s. So Redmi Note 11s was announced along with the Redmi Note 11. These are two devices under the Redmi Note 11 series, and the Redmi Note 11s comes with a quad camera setup. It's a 108 megapixel quad camera setup. Along with that, you also get a 16 megapixel selfie camera. So let's see how good the camera is for the price segment it is being offered. So the Redmi Note 11s sells in the 15 to 20k price segment, and for that price, is it really worth buying for camera? So let's find out. So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's first have a look at the camera hardware. The Redmi Note 11s comes with a primary 108 megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture, a secondary 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a third 2 megapixel macro sensor, and a fourth 2 megapixel depth sensor. The front camera is a 16 megapixel shooter with f2.4 aperture. So let's find out how it performs in this segment. First up, the daylight shots. Under bright outdoor conditions, the phone is able to capture good images. They are sufficiently bright with good colors too. The contrast and detail seems good, but the saturation seems to be a tad higher, especially under sunlight, and colors looks a bit boosted. They might be good for social media, but for people who want natural colors, might be in for a slight disappointment. The sharpness levels are pretty decent, but could have been a tad better as well, and this is quite evident when you pixel peep. The dynamic range is also quite good overall. Overall, the daylight captures are pretty good on the Note 11s except for the saturation issues. The ultra-wide angle sensor produces decent results for an 8 megapixel shooter. Surprisingly, the colors are a bit more natural than the primary shooter. The details and sharpness levels are decent for an 8 megapixel ultra-wide angle shooter. Now moving on to the close-up shots, it once again produces good results overall with vibrant colors, and even the sharpness levels are good. The details are good too. The phone has a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and this is definitely not the best macro sensor we have seen from Redmi, and the quality is strictly average and colors are a bit washed out too. Now moving on to the portraits. The portraits from Note 11s came quite well. We did see a bit of over sharpening in the skin tones, and this was evident even in the Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge. The edge detection seems to be pretty good overall. Overall, the portraits are satisfactory, but a bit of fine tuning with the skin tones would make it even better. Now moving on to the low light images. Under indoor lights or with artificial lights, the results are quite good, and it produces good colors and images are sufficiently sharp too. When you turn on the night mode, the details are good. The images looks decent along with clean images, but at the same time, there is noise which is evident when you zoom in. But overall, considering how the night mode on the 10s was, this is definitely a big improvement. The 16 megapixel selfie camera produces good results overall. The colors are quite okay and skin tones are good, but there is a bit of sharpening if you turn on the beauty mode. The dynamic range is also quite good overall. The phone also comes with portrait mode for selfies, and here the edge detection is fairly accurate most of the time and does a decent job overall. Moving on to the video recording, the phone can record videos in 1080p resolution at 30 fps only, but there is EIS being offered, and hence the quality is quite good. Similar to the images, there is a bit of saturation in the videos too, but the footage is stable and does a good job for the segment. The lack of 60 fps might be a downside, along with lack of 4K. The phone can also do slow motion videos and quality is decent, but noise levels are evident too. So this video recording taken using the front camera on the Redmi Note 11s. So you can record videos in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the video. So summing up, how good is the Redmi Note 11s as a camera phone? The Redmi Note 11s has definitely improved in terms of performance compared to the last year's Redmi Note 10s with good daylight, decent ultrawide, portraits, low light and selfies too. The phone does need some fine tuning for saturation issues and also over sharpening for skin tones. Also, lack of 4K and 60 FPS might be a deal breaker for few. The biggest disappointment, however, is probably the lack of tele macro sensor, and the 2 megapixel macro sensor was kind of disappointing. So what do you guys think about the camera on the Redmi Note 11s? Do share in your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off with a camera review of the Redmi Note 11s. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.